I'm keeping on praying, although I'm not paying attention to anything that I've been saying. I'm keeping my chin up, cause I know that's just what will keep me from going completely insane. I know when I hit the ground, no one will hear.
And then, whenever we're ready.
All right.
3, 2, and 1.
And we're back. Here we are. We did it.
Welcome. Welcome to Make a Mark podcast.
Mm-hmm. Hi there. Welcome.
Ooh, like you said, we did it. Only a million takes, everything going wrong.
Oh my goodness. You guys have no idea, but we are trying really hard to make this work, and we're learning a lot.
Yes, it is a learning curve for sure. Knowing to have the right plugins, the right SD cards, the right sound machine.
Oh my gosh. Like even the little stuff like an extension cord.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like there's just so much that I didn't know what that takes to put a whole podcast together, but it's been really exciting and sometimes frustrating, but
And we're lucky to have good people in our life who have equipment that they're willing to
we're
let us
so
use.
blessed. We are so lucky to have people in our lives that are in the industry and are able to guide us and
Through this crazy process.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but here we are with Make a Mark.
Make a Mark podcast. I am Danielle Viali.
And I'm Michelle Renee.
And I guess starting off, we should introduce each other.
Yeah.
I can go first, introducing the lovely, sexy, amazing Michelle Renee, who is a business owner since 21 years old.
I was 21 when
Salon.
I opened my first shop, yeah.
Yeah, so technically you're an esthetician?
I'm an esthetician, which means I specialize only in skincare, waxing, lashes. I just don't do any hair or nails.
Okay.
Yeah.
And specializing, you meaning the brows and the eyelash extensions and everything that's beautiful on your face right now?
Although I do need an eyebrow waxer now, but I'm saving my eyebrows because I don't want to get them waxed before I leave on my trip. I want them to be nice when I leave on my
secrets of the trade.
Yeah, so they're a little bushy right now, but that's okay. I don't care. They're going to look so good before I leave to Florida.
Ooh, how fun. Are you meeting the family?
Yeah, I'm meeting my boyfriend's daughter for the first time, and I'm so excited.
Ooh, that's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
And then you're a mother of 3 boys.
I have 3 boys.
Yeah, and they're older too, right? You said you're going through the rough teenage.
Oh my God. This is really a tough time right now. So I have a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old, and I have a 14-year-old. And he promised me that he would not be an asshole like they were. And he broke his promise.
Oh. Well, I mean, hormones kick in and the promise is out the door.
Yeah. But he promised me.
It's a lot of testosterone, huh?
It's a lot. It's a lot, yeah. And, so it's, it's so funny because I feel like I forgot what I went through with the older boys. And then now with the baby, it's like, it's...
The baby, but he's 14 now.
I know, but he's my baby.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you're venturing into the artistic world with painting?
Yeah, I'm learning to paint. I'm doing this new technique called Dutch pouring, not to be confused with the Dutch oven. Those are 2 totally different things.
A little more stinky.
Those are 2 totally different things. But it's been fun. It's just pouring paint together and mixing it together. And I actually use a blow dryer to move the paint around. So it's kind of cool because it kind of brings the 2 worlds together of the beauty industry and the art world together.
That's cool.
Yeah. And now I'm a podcaster.
You are a podcaster. And you're originally from Bakersfield, but now Oxnard, California.
Yeah. So I'm from Bakersfield. I've lived in Oxnard for about 20 years now.
Oh wow, that's a while.
Yeah, long time. And I love it here. I love the beach life. It's been so awesome.
It's awesome. I've never lived anywhere longer than 7 years
Yeah.
in one like location.
Well, as a kid, I moved around a lot. I think I've been to like 11 schools.
Oh wow, that's always hard being the new kid.
Yeah, I kind of got used to it. And it's so funny because every time I would go to a new school, I would like reinvent myself.
Oh.
I would even give myself a new name. Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
fun though. It's
Yeah.
fun to be able to reinvent and learn more about yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I have so many. We'll have to talk about that another time. But like, yeah, it was funny. It was interesting. Not funny, but yeah, it was an interesting time.
Well, that's how we said it. We always talk about our traumas. We always say funny because it's easier to laugh about them.
Yeah, I
than
think
cry
it's true. Yeah, instead of just crying.
or killing yourself.
Yeah, it's much better to just like laugh
Yeah.
about it. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. But also let me introduce to you guys our beautiful, brilliant green goddess.
Wow. Sound like a salad dressing.
Danielle Viali. So, you're a vet tech, right? Is that am I
Yeah,
giving
a
you the right
veterinary
title?
technician. I mean, well, technically, I'm a veterinary assistant because to get the technician, you're licensed as well, so you earn your esthetician title. So
Mhm.
I technically never went to school for it. I've been doing it 17 years since I was about like 15, but assistant is my technical
Wow.
term. Veterinary assistant.
What, 17 years?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's been a long time.
But they should just give you the license at this point now. Like, fuck it. You've been doing it
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, people go to school, they work hard to earn it, so
Yeah, but you've been doing that for a long time. You might as well, right?
Yeah.
You might as well just give it to you. Can they do that? Can you just tell them
They
and
had
show
a
them?
grandfather system where you could just take the test and prove that you had so much experience, but they got rid of that, so now you have to pay to get the schooling.
Oh my god, they should just give it to you. And also, you're in the film industry too, right?
Yeah, I enjoy directing and writing, so on my IMDb you can find my films on there, short films and music videos. You think I would know more about the background stuff, but this has been a good learning experience of seeing how the cameras and the sound and how important it is to have.
So now you have a little taste of being in front of the camera and working behind the camera.
Mhm,
Yeah.
for sure. It's
Yep.
a fun venture.
And you also created a film that merged your two worlds.
Oh yeah, the veterinary tech world and the filmmaking. So I made a film about compassion fatigue, which happens when you see death and illness on a regular basis. You become numb to it, which can affect your relationships outside of the workplace too, with your boyfriend and how you cope with different emotions. And I think the veterinary suicide rate's like number 5 right now in the United States.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I
it's
never knew
it's
that.
hard. It's hard to work.
Why
so,
do you think that is though?
just because they don't have a voice, and you have to euthanizing these pets without a voice is sad, and also the owners yelling at you about money, because it's a lot of with health insurance and humans, like insurance pays for a lot of it, and you can't just if a human's sick you treat them no matter what. With a pet, if they don't have the money, we can't do anything, so we're either going to euthanize them or they go home and die a painful death, and it's really sad. Like, it really eats at you when you have to think
When
about
you know that.
yeah, and when you can't help them because you're like, I'm sorry, like, unfortunately this is a business, sadly, that we
Right.
can't like save everything, even though we want to. It's just not gonna. So I think a lot of that weighs on especially the veterinarians, and then they end up falling into this depression.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome that you created something like that to kind of like highlight that, because I don't think a lot of people know that world.
Yeah, it'll be a fun world to talk about.
Yeah, so that gives us a lot to talk about later on in other future episodes. And talk about your babies.
Oh yes, I have a farm. So being a vet tech, which a lot of vet techs or veterinarians watching this know, we acquire pets. Like, we rescue a lot on the side. So
Yeah.
I have a dog that got hit by a car that I took in.
So are these like stray dogs and animals that get
No.
hit, or these like brought in by people who are like,
Well,
I don't want them anymore?
I guess it depends. A really cool thing that we can do, which I don't know if a lot of owners know this, but if you sign over your pet to the hospital, a technician, a doctor can take on that responsibility. It is financial responsibility too, but that's a good way of, instead of euthanizing them or taking them home to die, somebody in the field can take it over, So
Oh,
I've
wow.
gotten my dog that way. He was hit by a car, pelvis fracture, ruptured bladder. It was a mess. And then I got a kitty cat attacked by a dog. That one was easy. Like, they wanted to euthanize, but it just had a couple of fractured ribs, which doesn't sound so, like, and it's not that bad. She's super healthy and happy now. Everybody is. And then another baby kitten that came in that they were going to take to the shelter. But if you take a baby kitten to the shelter before it can eat on its own, they'll just euthanize it because it's too much work. Because you have to bottle feed every 4 hours and stimulate potty.
Oh, wow.
So knowing that it was going to the shelter was a death sentence, so we were like, fine, I'll take the little bitch on. And now she hates me, by the way, but super cutie. And then a bird who came in because it was too loud. Birds are loud, so we adopted that one. And then I have a snake in the
So they
saltwater.
come and surrender their animals there to you?
Occasionally, yeah. Like, it depends. If there's a technician available who wants to take it over, or a doctor, we'll do it, but it's not always the case. Sometimes we're overloaded, like how I am right now with my pet farm.
You can't take any more animals on.
Yeah,
so
like financially, even as a tech, I can't. So it depends where people are, but occasionally you can find.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
and
my
you're
pet.
from Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Missouri, and live in Long Beach, California.
Yeah. Cool.
So that's a nutshell.
And you're now...
Oh, podcaster. That was a mouthful.
Yeah, that was. So maybe we could talk about or mention like how we met, because I know a lot of our viewers who are following us now kind of know us individually, but they don't really know like how we know each other.
Yeah, it's a good story, and that's how we put our name together, Make a Mark Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I remember I was auditioning
I like the story.
for a runway show back when I wanted to be a model, when I was a baby. I was like 21. And Michelle was one of the intimidating judges behind the desk.
That's so funny.
You were intimidating. So I go
I had
in.
no idea what I was doing. I was just there helping my friend out. It's so funny you say that.
So I go in and I strut my like little stuff down the catwalk, whatever. And then they're like, "Oh, I wish you really brought heels because we really need to see how you do this
Walk
in
the
heels."
Yeah.
And then Michelle, the sweetheart she is, goes, "Come here." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "What size shoe are you?" And I was like, "A 9." And she's like, "Me too. Here, take my heels and use them." And I was like, "Oh, that's so nice of you." So then I did it, and then I didn't get the job though.
That wasn't because of me, though. It wasn't because of me. I
I'm
totally voted for you.
But it was good I didn't get the job.
Yeah.
Because that's how we bonded, and you hit me up later
Yeah.
to go to a bar.
Yeah, I think we went
Art
to, at the
show.
time, it was Watermark in Ventura. And we were just like, I don't know, just brainstorming. We were like, fuck it, let's just make our own fashion show.
Yeah.
And then we incorporated. Oh, I remember, like, we wanted to make it not just for the vein of creating a fashion show. So we wanted to give back in a way, a good cause. So we, any money that we raised for the show also sponsored foster kids to go to a basketball camp that was had a bunch of coaches that were former NBA players.
Mm-hmm. It was so cool.
Yeah. And then you incorporated the art world.
Yeah, we had paintings, and we had a live band too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun. And
It
then I
was
ended up
super
getting
fun.
to walk down the
Yeah,
catwalk.
you were in
But
the
by the
fashion
end of
show.
it, I didn't even want to do it anymore because it was so stressful to put all this
It
together.
was a lot of work.
I was running around after getting my hair and makeup done, trying to still organize it. And by that point, I was like, I just want to enjoy
I know.
what we cultivated.
Yeah. But out of that, we created a production
Make
type,
a Mark.
Make a Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Make a Mark Productions kind of in a way. Make a Mark Podcast,
Yeah.
which comes from everybody deserving to tell their story about how they made their mark.
Right. So like I had seen so one of my favorite podcasts is Tiger Belly, and he had mentioned that he hired this agency to bring him talent, people for him and Kalila to
Bobby Lee,
interview.
right?
Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
And he's a comedian. He's a very famous comedian, and he has a very successful podcast. So of course they want to have like big names,
Famous
on it.
people.
Right. So, but what he was saying was like he had hired this agency to find them talent, but he was like, don't bring me like Joe Schmo down the street. Like bring me a big name. But when he said that, I was thinking, for our podcast, I want to interview and have Joe Schmo on our podcast because like all those people, they're celebrities, they're famous, and they have a platform to, show and talk about whatever it is that they're doing, where like our friends and family don't always have that opportunity to talk about either the things that they have gone through or like to talk about their businesses and promote their businesses. And
like everybody has their story to tell, and it's
Right.
important for sure.
right, so that I want to have people on our podcast who have made a mark in our lives or have made a mark in our community or just even with just in their families, because
I like to say like all walks of life.
all walks of life. Yep.
Because I've even had the most like interesting conversations with like bums on the street. I don't even know if bums is the right term
Right.
to say because it sounds so
I like
I don't know,
the word
demeaning.
bums.
But hearing their stories, and some of them are war veterans, and like some
Yeah.
of them have mental health issues. Even
Yeah.
their stories make me like inspired and make me think.
Right.
So I mean, everybody deserves to.
So that's kind of like the basis of like what our podcast is going to be a lot about, and we hope to have like some of our family and friends on so that they can share some of their stories, their struggles, their traumas, and not just that, but like their successes and how they were able to like come through and make a mark. And and we hope to bring a little humor to it too as well. So
Yeah.
and we'll be talking about our own stories as well because we want to make sure that everyone can feel comfortable, because if we can be vulnerable, then
That'll make them feel more comfortable to talk about stuff too.
yeah, and we're not gonna just talk about stressful stuff. We're gonna talk about a lot of sex stuff too, so get ready.
That's funny. And we did create kind of a little platform. So the system would be someone coming in talking about how they made their mark per se,
Yeah.
and then Michelle thought of the fishbowl, which is
Yeah.
a bunch of categories inside literally a bowl that we will all pull out, each one of us, to kind of talk about a topic that either you can put in the comments to let us know what you want to hear about, and then we also will write stuff that we think is interesting, and that kind of sparks conversation.
Yeah.
And then snack time,
Yeah, it's snack time.
which is always a good, I like how you say just like relax after a deep
Yeah,
conversation.
like if it's a deep conversation, kind of take a little breather, regroup.
People like watching people eat. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
you guys like watching us eat. We might even just start a fans only thing.
Oh, boyfriend gonna be
For
mad about
us.
that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
That's funny. That is a popular thing right now.
I know, it's so weird, but I love it. It's so okay. We'll do it. I guess we'll do it. I guess if I have to.
And then at the end, just go over inspirations. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's a good way to get you guys to like, oh, I need something to read or watch, or I'm feeling like I want something.
Yeah, we want to give a little shout out to some of the people who've inspired us, and yeah. So should we jump into our fish bowl?
Oh yeah, great
Okay.
idea.
Cool. All right. You want to go first?
Sure. Let's see. Barbies. That is such a random one. I actually put Barbies in.
Okay.
And I put it in because as a child, like girl, of course, I loved playing them, and I think I was so
I love
creative.
Barbies. Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays a lot of kids, you don't see them actually like playing with stuff. It's more visual and on their tablets and like just not having that
Yeah, I
creative
think
outlet.
I played with my Barbies until I was like 13, 14 years old.
I was 16.
What? You did?
I was a loser, but no, not a loser.
No,
Yeah,
that's
maybe I was.
sweet. I
But-
think that's really cool.
I had a girlfriend come over to my house for the first time, and she's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And I was like, "Want to play some Barbies?" And she's like, "We are 16. We are not doing Barbies right now." And like she was so upset, and then it made me so sad. So like, I kind of
And
put
that's
them in
where
the
it all
closet.
ended for you being a little girl.
I was like, I can't play Barbies anymore. I'm 16. Meh.
Oh my God, were you really upset? Were you devastated?
No.
What did you do with your Barbies?
Put them in a closet, you know.
They just went into a box.
Yeah, I still have a couple of them
Barbies.
back home with the mom in the garage or something. But yeah.
Really? You still have them?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't see girls playing with their Barbies now like that are 14 years old. I used to do all kinds of stuff with my Barbies. My Barbies were having sex. They were making out. They were
There's so
fighting
much
with each
creative
other. I was recreating everything I saw.
I love the outlet of doing that. And then like I also think my little brother liked to play too, and like it's just fun to see kids play. Even though it's a stereotype, like I feel like little boys aren't supposed to want to play Barbies.
Oh yeah, because like with my boys, my youngest son, I bought him a baby doll, And Charlie was his name. Aww. That was Gavin's middle name. And Gavin's daddy did not like that at all. He actually threw Charlie away.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
I know.
I feel like it's such a thing. Like, I've heard of little boys getting their ass whipped by their dads because it's like, you will not play with this. This doesn't make you a man. And I just...
Which is so weird because, like, you take care of babies. You end up being a dad, right? And what's so wrong with letting your son play with baby dolls?
Yeah, it's like a social construct thing. Like,
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's changing now because now you'll see, like, boys wearing purple, wearing pink, wearing tie-dye, you know, like, and it's not, you know, weird anymore. And I like that.
Yeah.
I like that they're breaking that mold.
Mm-hmm. Not making everything so black and white, but more like in a gray area.
Yeah. And just creating their own kind of thing for themselves and, you know, just loving them for that. Not everyone has to be the same. Not everyone has to wear pink and boys only wear blue, you know, like,
Yeah, it's breaking through for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that. All right. Want me to do one? Okay. All right, let's get a good one. Let's get a good one. Oh. New sex trends.
Oh, that's an interesting one. From Barbies to sex.
From Barbies to sex trends. I don't even know, like, what are the new sex trends. You know what I mean? Like,
I know that one thing that I've seen on Pornhub, because me and my boyfriend are Pornhub watchers, is the new trend within the type of girl that we watch. We normally watch girls with, like, the colored hair who are like anime characters.
So like you.
Cosplay. I guess so, in a way.
Yeah, because, like, you have colored hair. Then maybe that's, like, why he likes that, is because, like...
I think he likes it from the tits and the ass, but yes. Okay, I guess I'm a little narcissistic. Yeah, I like that trend.
It reminds him of you. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would think. That's why he is into that.
It's fun. I like the cosplay aspect of it.
Yeah.
But I've noticed one of them that I first saw did, like, this weird facial expression, which actually, while I'm getting, like, having sex, I looked and I started laughing and like, I was like, is this a real thing? Like, this is hilarious. But I think it's a new cum face that actually makes guys, like, attracted to it.
Uh-huh.
So they stick out their tongue, close their eye.
No. Stop.
I'm not kidding. It's a thing. There's a name for it. I'll put it down and, like, right here. I'll edit it in because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh
I don't think it's, like, a new thing. I think it's been in the Japanese culture.
Uh-huh.
But I just recently saw it.
So you just make the face when you're about to come?
Yeah, I think it means, like, oh, you fucked me so hard, my eyes go cross-eyed. And then it's always been a thing where girls would be like, ah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to try that. We'll see. I think that I've had a moment, though, where I've come so hard that my eyes have crossed. Yeah, but I didn't know that was a trend, but yeah. I don't have anything to, like, contribute to that because I don't even know really what, like, the trends are. I mean, other than, like, just what's different in every relationship, like, there's something new or different that you do with your new partner.
Yeah, I think you always have, like, your core things that you enjoy, but you can, like, learn from them. Like, oh, I don't like that, or, like, oh, yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah. I guess, like, for me, the newest trend would be, like, having sex on my side. Like, that's never been a thing for me in the past, and now it's something that, like, I find that I really enjoy.
I have had that, like, it's more so, like, when I'm, like, all of a sudden waking up, I'm like, oh, I'm getting fucked. Okay, my boyfriend says that morning would. I mean,
what is that?
We've been together
what is
for
that
10
in
years.
the morning thing? Yeah, okay, so you guys have been together 10 years, so you're kind of, like, used to it.
Just like, oh, yeah, this is well, morning wood, I think it's just, like, guys wake up with their dicks hard.
Oh my god.
It's like a chemical thing. I think that's, like, released. I can't remember the whole smart gist of it, but
you're such a nice girlfriend, though, because not me. I'm like, no, I'm tired. I'm asleep. Don't bother me.
That's funny. I am nice. That is true.
That is so funny.
No, I'm grumpy too sometimes in the morning. I am. But I can see that it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Snack time. Oh, we got oranges.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into snack time.
Well, I'm getting hungry, all this sex talk.
Yeah, and this is just gonna be perfect for that. I love oranges.
They're refreshing, especially being that vegan life that I am. Love them. So funny.
I wonder if there's any snacks that are popular that you've never had.
Like,
I don't know. Like, is there anything that's super popular that you
haven't tried
haven't
eating
tried?
it?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Like, maybe from other countries or something.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool. That would be cool to do. Like, if we could find out like what's popular in like Thailand, and then we'll try it in
Try
front
to
of
get
everyone.
the food.
Uh-huh.
Have allergic reaction, need an EpiPen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it funny? Am I just paranoid? I get that when I try like a new food, I get paranoid that I might be allergic to it. So I'll
Oh my
take like a
God.
little bite of it first, and then I'll
I'm
be
scared
like,
I would have diarrhea.
"Oh, I think that's more a normal reaction." I think I'm just very paranoid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into anaphylactic shock. We'll have to do that. Get some fancy treats on here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's do that. We'll take a note.
Taking
Um.
and then inspirations.
Yeah. So, I want to like at the end of our podcast give a little shout out to like who's inspired us and like, you know, yeah, who's inspired us.
And I feel like this one would be a good one to say the podcast that got us started. Because
This
you're
is-
the one who said you wanted to do a podcast, and I was just thinking, oh, really? Like, why would we do a podcast? Why would anyone want to listen to what we have to say? But you made a good point of, like, giving the voice to the not, I don't like saying average Joe or the everyday, or I hate the word basic bitch. I hate
Yeah, yeah.
I hate that one.
No, how
But
about
just-
like two real authentic people
Hmm.
who have made a mark? Yeah.
I like saying all walks of life. But
All
yeah,
walks of life. We'll just keep saying that.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, so I feel like I want to give a shout out to Whitney Cummings, who has been a big inspiration for me to create this podcast with you.
Hilarious.
She's so funny and she's so silly, and
She's
I like
also
that.
smart. Like, I've heard her talk about how, like, the brain cortex of this, like, triggers this joke, and that's why it's funny to, like, she gets into that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's deep. I'm like, oh, you're
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. Her and Tiger Belly, who then led us to.
Oh, yeah, I haven't really watched Tiger Belly, but
Bloodbath.
Bloodbath, those girls are
They're awesome. I love them.
Esther,
Annie, and Kalila.
oh, yes,
Yeah, they're pretty cool chicks. I love them. They're really funny.
they're good.
Yeah.
One podcast that I watch as, like, a filmmaker that, because I haven't listened to any podcasts before, is on that sheet that I need.
Yeah.
I have
Okay.
no memory of what it's called. The Big Picture, that's right, by, Sean Fennessy and Amanda Dobbins.
Yeah.
They talk about everything film, what's happening in the film, like trends with movie theaters and COVID, and then all the new ones coming out. And then Sean actually interviews prominent directors and actresses and actors and
Cool.
stuff. So it's a good one
Yeah.
if you're into that world.
Yeah. That's awesome. So those are our inspirations. That's our shout out. So
Shout outs.
if there's anybody who wants to add to our fishbowl topics, you know,
Yeah, leave comments.
leave
for
comments,
sure.
yeah. And if there's anything else you guys want to hear from us, and we hope that you guys will find this enjoyful, and is that right word? Did I say that? Is that the word?
Joyful? Enjoyful?
I don't know.
Enjoyable?
Enjoyable? Okay, that's what I was trying to say.
I had to think about it too. Sound it out. I was like, enjoyable?
Just kind of combined the two.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna end these abruptly, you know, just
Yeah.
like.
Like this.
All right, bye. See you later. Oh my gosh, I think my leg's asleep.
Don't fall.